नन्ही चींटी जब दाना लेके चलती है, चढ़ती दीवारों पे वो बार बार फिसलती है। आखिर उसकी मेहनत बेकार नहीं होती। कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती। सो एवरीवन, टुडे वी हैव अ वेरी वेरी स्पेशल गेस्ट who rose to the occasion whenever fate tried to pull him down. He kept rising, rising and rose like a phoenix. Let's welcome Shri Pritish Chaterjee sir, MD and co-founder of Savera Group, to our beloved podcast series TEJAS.
Sir, a very warm welcome to you to the podcast series.
Yeah.
Firstly, we would like to congratulate you, a hearty congratulations on being a grandfather.
Yeah,
A
it's-
little princess. It's a big, big thing.
Thanks a lot for this occasion, and as rightly said by you, it's one of the best feelings becoming a Nanaji. So now I have become a truly senior citizen by age also, and becoming a grandfather also. So that's it.
सर आपको देख के कोई बोलेगा नहीं.
Really.
तो सर, आप बताइए, सवेरा कैसे हुआ?
Savera kaise? Yes. Yeah, it's a long story. Let's go through it. Means I did my engineering, and after doing it, I had bought a plot. I always wanted to start something of my own, but I bought a plot in Valuj, but I wanted to have experience. So worked for about 6-7 years with different companies, and then one day, Anna, we lovingly call him Mr. Moreshwar Save, Atul's father. He called me up. That time there were no mobiles. He called me up on landline that while going home, can you come to? I went to his place. He had that spin tub, you call it, for washing machine given by Videocon. Uncle said, can we do this? I said, Uncle, yes, why not? We'll do it, definitely. But I have my 7 years of experience. This has got ceramic coating. I don't have experience. It has got resistance welding, which I have not learned. Learned one page in engineering, that's all. Nothing more than that. So, but we'll do it. But then I told them, just ask them to show us one of the plants where they do it. So they arranged, we went to those plants in Oglewadi, Satara. And after seeing those plants, I came back and I said, I want to do automation in this because this is laborious job and we cannot multiply the production, you know. And then we went ahead with it. So we made a ceramic conveyorized furnace, which was first of its kind in India. And because and I didn't know anything about ceramics basically. So went around the books, read a lot of books, met people who, were ceramic pundits. So wherever I used to go to him and tell him, I'm a mechanical engineer. I don't know anything about ceramics, please guide me. So they happily used to tell me this, that. So it took me about a year and I got enough data with me. So I literally became a ceramic engineer after that.
Wow.
So then I wanted to design a furnace. So I told the guys, so they said, the ceramic, we cannot have a conveyorized furnace. Then I found a person who makes furnace. He didn't know anything about ceramics. I approached him, said, I want to make a ceramic furnace. He said, you give me heat curve. I said, I'll give you the heat curve, no problem. Gave him the heat curve with first shot. That furnace became okay.
Wow.
But it was a spin tub, it had a curling operation. So we had a special machine made from one of the manufacturers. And it took 8 months for the machine. And so you can just imagine that time, MSF's rate of interest was 22%.
My God.
Unbelievable. Yes, but we started with that 22% rate of interest. And it took about 9 to 10 months to start the unit, and everything, interest was on, workers were there, salaries were going on.
Unimaginable.
It was pathetic, that condition, 9 months, and first plant.
Yeah.
And
The very first
so,
plant.
very first plant, and it was a huge this thing. Then Atul also, after 4-5 months, he said, yeah, I can't see the state of the factory, I'm not coming, you only go. So anyway, so that's how we started. And then that machine, I'll tell you, you should even, they say, no, small ideas can click, and make a huge difference.
Right.
So one day I was in the shop floor, because I always love to be in the shop floor. So one casual worker, he said, sir, what is happening? This is straight and when the roller comes for bending it, it used to tear from there.
Okay.
So he said, why don't we give an angle? I said, yeah, that's it, yeah. And we gave an angle, first shot it became okay.
Wow.
So that's how we made the machine, we started the production, and believe me, with our production, means they used to just make 18,000 of washing machines per day.
Okay.
So with this thing, it went up and we gave them about 20,000 additional things.
Wow.
So Videocons, capacity went up because of those sprint.
Wonderful.
So that's how we did the first thing. But we are a typical example of an SME, where you'll feel lots of ups and downs. We could never had a straight graph like this going up. It was going up, going down, going up, going down. So as luck would have it, then because we were into seam welding and all, then Bajaj Auto said, why don't you make fuel tanks? I said, yes, why not? So we started for Bajaj Auto's fuel tanks for rickshaws. And that's the interesting story. How did I get the fuel tanks, Because that time they used to make 400 rickshaws a day. Now they make more than 2,000. But that time it was 400 rickshaws per day. And in that, the worker, they had agreement with the workers that 180 per shift. So they needed 400, 180, 180, 360 for 40 tanks. They had to run the third shift. And workers didn't used to work. Second guys used to make it and keep it. These guys used to come and sleep the third shift. So they were irritated. And they were legally bound, they couldn't do anything.
True.
Because their target was 40. So you
Right.
can't help it. So used to come and sleep happily.
In the premises.
In the premises.
Wow.
In the premises. So at that time Bajaj was not that strict.
Right.
Later on they become stricter. Then they said yes, do it. So we started making, and ultimately we used to make 800 a day, which they used to, in 12 hours. So that's how. But as luck would have it, we started this. Then they said start for scooters also. We started for scooters also. And all of a sudden, the spin tub that went into plastic.
Oh.
The first product which we were making,
My God.
that went into plastic, and we were not into plastic molding that time. So that business went slowly within zero. Then we started for Bajaj Auto, and we started some other components. Then Bajaj Auto, we were doing very fine. Started the second plant, and in 99 we started the second plant in 97. 99 they called us. That time they used to make 1150 scooters a day. 99 they called us. We want to increase our production to 3000 scooters a day. So you please gear up for the.
Okay.
We came back and I told Atul, yes, they are asking, but let's not go because machines are costly. Let's add a few machines, not all.
Totally. Right.
And 2001 Mr. Rajiv Bajaj took over, and Bajaj Auto took a decision that they stopped
Scooters.
scooter production. So then again my graph came to zero.
Oh my God.
And then they were making 400 rickshaws. Out of that, 300 were petrol, 100 were diesel. So petrol they converted to plastic, blow molding.
Shit.
So I didn't have that. And then a point came, they said your turnover is below 5 crore. So a policy is there that you can't be a direct vendor of Bajaj Auto.
Oh.
I said, fine. Why don't you join some other tier one?
Tier ones.
I said, no, I'm not interested. They said, but you should think about it. No, I said, fine. What will you do? I'll see what to do. So then slowly everything went away. Then again the graph came down. Then 2001 to 2007, 2008 were difficult for us, very difficult. Then we did a lot of work for JBM, Pune, Baroda, did some articles for them. But it was not a consistent thing, so it was up and down, went down. Then I had the machines for doing fuel tanks. So I said, let me search for a product which goes on that. It took me 2 years because handling other things and doing something else, I was all alone. Then I came across an ironing board, which can be made on that. I developed that. Then I said, who uses ironing? Who will buy? Because India ironing board concept is not there.
Yes, absolutely.
Then I found out, then I came across Ikea, they require ironing boards. It took me another year and a half to find out where Ikea office is. It's multinationals, it's very difficult. Where they are.
Absolutely.
I found out their office. Now, how to get into it? You should need someone who will allow you inside, introduce you.
In that period, sir, there would be no websites, there would be no
Nothing.
addresses.
So,
Must be hell of a task.
hell of a task. Then, okay, then I found a person, somehow he introduced me. So 2007, I approached them. And they said, yeah, nice, you have developed this, but right now we don't have a mandate for metals from India. We are only buying plastic, rugs, carpets and towels. I said, okay. I came back. So, but then as luck would have it, 2008 they came back. Are you still open for hiring both? I'm like, yes, I am definitely. Why not?
Wow.
So they, after bolo. So they said, okay, good. We have got the mandate. So 2008 we started for Ikea.
Great.
But then they had a thing when they said their norms are very, very strict, you know, the quality norms, and they a thing called IWAs, basically ethical and social norms. They are very, very strict with it because that's the only thing which you have to control. They say, "Aap IWA karo business, paisa hum sab denge." So that's not an issue. So it was a task, we could do it. But they said you should do backward integration. You should have a powder coating plant, which I didn't have experience. You should have a tube mill. I told them, don't worry, my friend is there who's got a tube mill in Aurangabad. I'll buy from him.
Okay.
They said, good, fine. So there was one gentleman. So I went to him. He said, I'll do it, but I'll do with material and all. But I said, IKEA is telling, do it on labor. He said, no, I am not interested in labor.
Okay.
I told them, IKEA, that he's not interested in labor. Tell him what is his labor cost and he has to do on labor. Then again I went to him. He said, okay, my cost is 9 rupees per kg. Because I didn't know anything. My habit is, if something I don't know, I don't get into it, you know. He told me 9 rupees, I went and told IKEA, he's saying 9 rupees. He started laughing. I said, why, what happened? Who's this guy who's charging 9 rupees a kg for this? I said, his cost should be 3 to 3 rupees 50 paisa per kg.
1/3.
1/3. So I came back to him, I said, he said, look, my plant is, you know, this plant is 5 crore, this is 2 crore, this is 10 crore. So it's a costly affair and I cannot go below that. So IK said, but you should have your tube mill. Then okay, my habit is, then I got into it, learned everything, what tube mill is, what machines to be done. So my plant was ready in 2 crores. And where that gentleman saying 10 crores and how is my investment. So I started that plant 5 times less. So, and it was running fine, so it could suffice my all those things. And that's how we got into IKEA. So once we started with 1 article, 2 article, and it was a huge learning for us because till now we were only doing for Bajaj Auto, Videocon, and it was basically we used to give on pallets and bins, you know.
Right.
Here you have to pack each and every article.
Yes.
So it was a big learning for us because we never did packing in our life.
Absolutely.
IKEA taught us how to do packaging, you know. So that was a big learning for us. We started on plain tables, then conveyor, then automatic, and that's how we have progressed with them. We have grown with IKEA. And in between, in 2004, we started for LG. That's again a story, up and down. 2004 we started for them, the metal, sheet metal. They said, why don't you start a plastic molding also? I said, okay, we'll start. We started a molding plant also. So February 2004, we started the production. And a big company like LG, such a huge plant, they started only with 1 model. And that too, it was a new model, you know.
Oh.
So they didn't know anything about it. It was basically a R&D. They started somewhere around February, and around 17th or 18th March they came to know that model has flopped.
My God.
So their plant got shut, both the plants got shut. So from March onward, and typically January to June is the season for refrigerators
Yes,
in India.
Yes.
Because that's
Summer season.
Summer season.
Yes.
So I was clueless what to do. 2 plants, interest is on, salaries are on, I don't have any work, you know. So I was just sitting idle. What to do? Then in August they come back to us, the LG guys, say we are shifting because they have a huge plant in Noida. So we are shifting 3 models from there. So you have to add on machines. I said, what the hell? How is it possible? Means I am sitting on a loss of 1 crore in each plant. How do you expect me to start? They said, no, you have suffered because of us, so we give you the first chance.
Okay.
So if you say no, we'll give to someone else. So me and Atul then sat what to do about it. I said, let's go to the bank. So we went to the, Shamrao Vittal was our bank, so we went to the chairman, told him the story. This is thing. We are into losses. So how much losses? I said, 1 crore losses. Then we are not able to pay your EMIs also. He said, how much you want? I said, we want 1 crore. He said, given.
Wow.
So that was the turning point. So they gave, and then rest is history. Then we did very well with that job. So what I'm trying to tell is up and down, up and down.
Absolutely.
So that plant also, before starting also, we were into minus here. So that's how we progressed slowly. And then we started for GE. That's another, my first export was in 2006.
Okay.
So GE US, we were General Electric US. So we gave them about 6-7 components for hinges and all for the refrigerator and dishwasher and washing machines. It was doing fine. We were doing very good business. Payments were regular. Then 2009, this Obama took over as president.
And to know this is very interesting.
So there what happened, he said that you have to start back increasing employment in US. So all these guys from last 15-20 years, they're buying from throughout the world.
Right.
He told them, start back the factories.
Also.
So somewhere in March, one gentleman came, Richard was his name. So he came to India. So they brought him to my plant. He was the guy who was doing purchase for all the plants, $1.6 billion. He had a mandate for that, a big man. He came to my plant, he saw everything good. And he was on his iPhone. So he asked me, Pritish, what are your PPM levels? I said 0. His hand stopped there. What do you mean by 0? I said, no, I'm not saying. This is on my laptop. I showed him. Your website is showing that. We had access to your state. Your website is showing 0.
Okay.
So from how many days? Well, more than 2 years is 0. So you mean to say there's no rejection? Absolutely, there's no rejection. Okay, that was in March. He went back from April 15, 16, because their morning is their evening is our morning in India.
Yes.
So every morning I used to get up 7 o'clock with a phone call. What is this going on? There's so much rejection. Our lines are suffering. We have to take out machines. I said, but how is it possible? These are press components. There's no variation. It's not an assembly or anything. How can I? No, this is not done. This is not done. So every morning I got fed up. So in June I said, I'm coming. I went there. So it's a huge complex. They've got massive 6 factories in one campus, and outside there's a parking of at least 50 acres where about 2,000 cars parked there. Massive. So there I went. I saw that this time what I saw in the parking was all new cars. Many new cars were there. I thought, oh God. Went inside. So went inside. There were 6 divisions. 12 guys were sitting. They pounced on me. What is this happening? There's so much of rejection. This, that. I said, gentlemen, I've come just now, let me go and see. No, this is not done, this is not done. So after listening to them, went to the shop floors. 3 divisions warehouse to supply. I told them, get my boxes. They brought 1, 2, 3, no rejection. Everywhere, all at least more than 100 boxes we assembled, no rejection. I couldn't understand then what's wrong, what is going wrong. Then there was one old gentleman over there. I used to meet him frequently. So I asked John, let's go for drinks tonight. So went with him. I asked, what's going on here? So he told me, Pritesh, I think you should stop supplying. I said, why? What's the reason? Why so much of rejection? He said, did you see something in the parking? Well, yeah. Incidentally, I saw. What? I said, there are many new cars, exactly. Obama has given a $4,000 subsidy to big 3 car manufacturers, and he's told them that you have to start back all the factories which you have closed down for supplying to you. Otherwise, you get, and there a car used to cost about $28,000-$30,000. Out of that, $4,000 subsidy was given.
Okay.
And similarly, they have given $100 subsidy to GE and Electrolux.
I see.
And there it was cost $600-$700 was the cost of a refrigerator or something.
Right.
And now they have started back all the vendors which they had closed 15 years, and their rejection they are putting on air yet.
Oh my God.
And you can't challenge it. And I was shocked. I don't know what to do. And came back, and then they changed entire, purchase department they changed. And one female was there, she was so strict, even the way she used to talk, you have to, she said, because their payment was 180 days. So we were getting regular payments, so that was not an issue. But this time, because 108, and I had not done ECGC and anything of that,
Yes,
because it was such a big company to name it, so you don't need it. Then she said, you have to sign a rejection of 1.75 crore. My total outstanding was 12.5 crores. I said, how can I do it when there is no rejection? No, there's rejection, and we have to dispose your articles. It's a cost. I said, send back the containers. They said, we are not sending back the containers also. So 2-3 months I took, then I signed it, got my money, and closed that business. So then again that went down. So that's the up and down story.
But it is so amazing that for considering the economy for a country, how it runs, what are the constitutional assets which are going on, we are affected who are at the other.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And that time there was, in government also we couldn't go to anyone.
Right.
Because they didn't have channels. Right now you have got a lot of channels.
Yes.
You can approach them. Because that female told me, you can go to any international court, Pritesh, you won't get your money.
My God.
Means that was sort of dhamki you can
Yes,
call it.
absolutely.
She was open and blunt about it. And we didn't have, but now you got a lot of channels where you can approach international thing. But that time it was not there. So that's how the story went on.
Wow.
Then again, Ikea we started 2008 doing well. As luck would have it, again a down came 2013. So we had taken one plant head from a big company, so he was taking care of it. So he bypassed one of the phosphating stages.
Okay.
And rust developed in that curtain rod. And being an international, because we supplied to 42 countries, destination of Ikea. And that was 20,000 a day. So about 1.3 million got accumulated. They stopped everywhere. Rust means Ikea is such a company, something goes wrong, they'll stop everywhere,
Yes.
Because they are a big company, so they stopped everywhere. So 1.3 million curtain rods were held up.
1.3 million.
Yeah, so it was 13 crores. So that time my supply was only 4 crores a month. So 13 crores was a huge amount. And I said, I was scratching my head, what to do with it? Nothing can be done. They said, look, rust we don't allow that. That's for us, quality is first. Okay, then that time best part is the Indian office, Ikea team was very good. And even the team in Sweden was very good. So they told them, I said, yeah, I'll be ruined. If nothing goes, I have to close down the plant. They said, let's try. So we went to Sweden, and there we met all the team. They said, what can you do? I said, let me see if I can repair this. So I had to go 3-4 times. I took a team of 3-4 people, went to the warehouse. One carton had 800 pieces of curtain rods. And it was the month of December. You can believe it was so cold.
Absolutely.
And our guys are not used to this.
Yes.
So, we opened up one pallet from morning till evening. We could do just 200 pieces and they were 1.3 million. I said, this is not possible to repair.
Even in the ambient temperature, it is not possible.
Yeah. I said, it's not done. It's not done. So I went back to them. It's not possible. But then they said, you have to do something because Ikea is not going to. Then we requested them send back all those things. There were 58 containers.
Oh my God.
And it was throughout the world. Throughout the world.
My God.
You have to. They said, okay, we'll send back, but you have to pay. I said, I don't have the money. Then they were very good. They said, okay. I met the higher ups. They said, Ikea Finance will pay you.
Okay.
You pay Ikea.
Okay.
And you take back. And as you send back, you won't get paid, but it will be deducted from this.
Right.
They gave me 1 year. So we brought back 58 containers. So and that time they said, now you have to stop the operations, correct whatever is wrong. So you got the rejection and 5 months the factory was closed. You can just imagine.
My God. Only
So
river person.
I had to hire 2 godowns to keep those 58 containers for repairing. So that was an additional expense. But ultimately then we bounced back in 2014, and that's in Ikea world, that was the biggest claim taken by anyone, 2 million euro, because that time euro value was 65 rupees. So
Yes.
13 crore was 2 million euros. 2 million euros was the biggest anyone had taken a claim and came back, because most similar time, one more gentleman from Delhi was into similar this thing. He closed down. He couldn't survive. But then we came back, I corrected all the procedures, everything, gave back. And immediately 2014, we were the preferred, we came into the preferred suppliers, you know.
Wow.
So that was a big story too, from rejection, claim to coming back. And touch wood, after that, 2015 till now, we are doing pretty well.
Amazing. Amazing.
Taking the
Sir, that's-
responsibility, even after it went wrong from our side, is a big thing. And also, they also considered.
Yeah, they also considered, basically what happened, I think there, the Delhi guy went wrong. His claim was only 3.5 crores. Mine was 13 crores.
Okay.
But he said, I don't take the claim.
Nice.
And that angered the IKEA guys. They said,
Right.
how can you say that you can't take it? And I said, yes, I'll do it. That's not an issue. I suffered losses in that, but that gave them this thing, yes, this guy is genuine.
Absolutely.
So Savera company is genuine. They have got ethics and policies. So that's why we could progress. Now we are doing more than 69 SKUs for them.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
Sir, मतलब सवेरा कैसे हुआ? बहुत सारी रातों के बाद सवेरा हुआ.
बहुत सारी रात के और सवेरा रात ऐसा होता गया.
So many great stories, sir. और आप जब बोल रहे थे, two things were just moving around my mind. पहली तो वो जो डायलॉग है ना, एक बार मैंने कमिटमेंट कर दिया तो मैं अपने आप की भी नहीं सुनता. One was that, and secondly जो मैथ में वो जो कर्व होता है, that sine wave graph. I mean, it's so amazing कि वो इतनी बार आया. There was an up, there was a down, there was again an up, और ये चलता रहा. This was the most challenging part, and anybody would succumb to that. But despite of having so many challenges, you rose back again. That's amazing, and that's a lesson for generation like ours. Even during these challenges that you faced, so what was running through your mind? Because I mean, practically they were of such a magnitude कि बाकी सब, I mean, इंसान तो सब छोड़ छाड़ के भाग जाए, बंद कर दे, और faith would be lost. So what exactly kept you going?
It was basically, I have to do it. So that's the only thing. And I have to achieve it. So like, होता है, the target होता है. जैसा my first container went. So 1 container a month.
जी.
So I said, used to pray, I said, let me do 1 container a month.
Okay.
वो हो गया, but man is greedy. So I said, let me do 1 container a week. वो भी हो गया.
Wow.
Then I said, 1 container a day.
Yeah.
वो भी हो गया. Then 2 containers a day, 100 container a month. उसके बाद फिर बंद कर दिया. अभी बढ़ेगा.
अभी गिनने की
So
जरूरत.
to achieve this, I had to. I had no other, because you can't be a failure in your life, you know. ये तो चलते ही रहेगा. Ups and downs तो आना ही आना. So you have to face it. Of course, that took a toll on my health and all. But yes, I have survived. And
That's amazing.
Not only survived, you have become a lion. Ticket as it comes, करके दिखाएंगे.
and change the field, you know, from engineering, like doing automobile.
Exactly.
Switch to home furnishing, you know, which is not my. That's why the name of the company is still Savera Auto. All those guys say, "What do you supply to auto?" I said, "I used to. Now it's supplying to home furnishing, but the name is same."
But then that itself becomes a USP. Auto नहीं है, but curiosity generate हो जाती है. That is the backstory behind it.
Yeah.
And it is so amazing क्योंकि washing machine, then fuel tank, I mean, और बाकी home furnishing. These three are completely different verticals.
Completely different.
That's amazing. One more thing that we wanted to ask you, sir, is now basically partnerships. So there are very rare examples in the history that partnerships have gone to such a big level. Very rare. मतलब आप उंगलियों पे काउंट कर पाओगे. And Savera Auto being one of that. It's a great story. So आपने तो मतलब जो एक मिथ होते हैं पार्टनरशिप के बारे में, you broke all of them.
Yeah.
What is the chemistry?
Basically, one thing in partnership, what happens is, like me and Atul, we are classmates from 1970. So it's my age. I'll be 62. Out of that, 70 is 54 years we were together.
Wow.
Same class and all. And not only that, he was clear on day one. That look, technical part I'm not a technical person. You have to take care. Otherwise, we don't get into it. Financial part, I'll take care of it. So that's how we started. So all decisions are mine. So for technical, whatever expansion, whatever new companies to be acquired, what is to be done, he doesn't interfere. And any bank requirement, then he says yes, he'll talk to the banks and get it done. So now that's how it went on, because I didn't have any hindrance, I didn't have interference from anyone. He never interfered in any of my decision. One classic example is when we were started for Ikea. I told him, did this complete studies, we want to set up a big powder coating plant. So went to the bank. So he talked to the chairman. So it was a different bank. The chairman said, look, Atul, we have got so many powder coating plants in Waluj who are into losses. Why didn't you get it done from them? Why you want to set up such a big plant? So he told him point blank, sir, look, I don't know. Pritish has done this thing. He wants the money. If you give it, it's okay. Otherwise, go to some other bank. So,
Wow.
Believe.
What trust.
so that was a kind of thing, and that's how we could survive. We could not only survive, as you say, we could become number one in our field.
Absolutely.
Right now, because we are the largest supplier to IKEA in metal and plastic from India, and we come among the top 10 in entire Southeast Asia for IKEA.
That's great.
And soon we'll be doing for many other.
Fantastic.
Many feathers in the cap.
Yes.
Also, Savera has received a UNDP award, that is award from United Nations, and 60% of your staff are women.
Yeah.
And not just they are workers, but they are embedded in most of the important departments in your company. How did you bring about this change? And being in Aurangabad,
Yeah, it's about 9 years back. What happened is, IKEA, they don't allow overtime. But IKEA doesn't allow, you can't say what they follow the, rules of your state, law of land. So in Maharashtra labor law book, no one reads it, but in it that in a quarter you can give only 45 hours of overtime. In a quarter, in 3 months. So that's not even half an hour a day.
Absolutely.
No one sticks to it.
Absolutely.
4 hours is normal here.
Yes.
But since we had to do this, I can't do it. So initially I had a lot of problem with people. They said, नहीं हम 12 घंटे का काम है तो हम करेंगे नहीं तो नहीं करेंगे.
Okay.
And I said, I can't give you overtime because what happened is, if you are not, true with the people, that same thing happened in Delhi. Guys, हाँ देख लेंगे. They used to give cash में wages, but they have got so strict audits. They'll come and open your computers, they'll hack your computers. You can't keep anything.
Yes.
And once you found, you're out.
Yes.
IKEA says, we don't tolerate this. So that was the one thing I was thinking what to do. I said, let's get into women workforce.
Okay.
But training them was very, very difficult. They said, नहीं sir, press पे हम नहीं करेंगे, powder coating में नहीं करेंगे. I'm standing with you, कुछ नहीं होगा, करो. So that's how we started. And then fortunately, there was a very one commissioner of police, Mr. Chiranjeev Prasad, was in Aurangabad. So I was just talking to him one day. He said, we have got a Damini Pathak, who this is all headed by all ladies, inspector ladies, constables are there. They go around the villages, around Waluj, and they find out oppressed women, who her husband is a drunkard, doesn't give money. So will you take? I said, yes, why not? I'll take them, no problem. He sent 200. I said, sir, 200. let me go slow. 200. We selected 80 of them, trained them for 2.5 months, and then my team was to stand with them on the shop floor.
Wow.
And train them. And it's such a good feeling that giving back to the society. Now those casual, because our payments go by check. So those people who can't read and write, they've got checkbooks, they've got bank accounts now.
Wow.
And there's many success stories, like one casual's daughter is a doctor, IIT, and another one's son is a doctor. So these are the examples, which we could give back to the society.
Amazing.
So after that it went on, so they kept on learning. So now you will find everywhere. They are working on robots, they are working powder coating and packing, of course, they are always there. But all the other stations they are working. So, and then government came up with the second shift you can allow. So then we arranged for a bus for dropping them back, plus lady security is there. And because we help police, so they are also very, lenient with them. They have rounds during night times and also it's a very safe environment for the women to work in this factory.
I think
Wow.
for women, instilling that faith in them that you are being taken care of, your
Yeah.
children will be taken care of, and ultimately your family will grow well, they will be educated well, is so important.
Yeah.
I think Savera gave them that,
Yeah.
and they were ready to come and work with each and every department in the company. Such a good story.
So there, there was this thing that United Nations. I read it somewhere, so we applied.
Okay.
So instantly they said, "Oh, where is this plant? Where is engineering?
Wow.
Where 60% female workers are there?" They came 2 days. They were here. They audited everything, whether we are saying lies or something like
yes.
that. Then after auditing, they said, "Now we want to film it." So their team came from
Wow.
Delhi, professional guys,
Okay.
typical जैसे रहते हैं, चोटी वोटी लगाया हुआ typical वैसे t-shirt वगैरह पे. Those guys came, they were 2 days they were in the plant, they filmed the entire thing, and then we got the award and all. So that's
This would have been a very good encouragement to the women on floor actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
मला घेतात.
हाँ.
Yeah.
We would like that.
And secondly, I mean, there are policies, there are even such statutory requirements, those are posed by government. But being as compliant or surpassing that, not many companies do this. And that's where Savera stands. That's
Yeah, because
really great.
if you take shortcuts, you can't grow.
Absolutely.
You have to be true to your this thing. Whatever you say, it has to be practiced. So now in our factory, the IWay audit, which they call social and ethical, we have done all e-audits, So
Okay.
they have given a password. A guy sitting anywhere in the world can have a look at my daily this thing.
Oh, I see.
So they did not come here also.
Right, right.
Because whatever we practice, that's what we are doing it on this. So without that, it's not possible to grow.
That's amazing. Even sir, I mean, we talked exports and we are practically exporting to all the big players with every nook and corner of the world. Now, being in Aurangabad and exporting to the outside world, especially when it is said that नहीं ये home goods में तो या इस तरीके के जो FMCG products होते हैं, basically any domain. So China is the leader. China exports a lot, and you cannot survive in front of China. And I mean, here is an example which has again contradicted this common conception. So, what was the thinking behind this, and how this was taking place?
Because China is cheap is a myth. I tell you, people don't know China sasta. Yes, it is
Right.
cheap, but for cheap goods.
Okay.
Multinational companies like these, they have got norms. You have got minimum wages. You have got this, that. Then when you put that into China, they are costly.
Ah.
So in my Ikea, this thing 50. Of course, their raw material is cheaper by 25%. They've got a 15% export benefit is for them. So all those things
40% is
practically lower
the
than
aid,
us.
yes.
But still, we are competing with them. What happened? There was an example about 4-5 years. India, they brought pencil cells. They were
Yes,
selling for
yes.
3 rupees, 4 rupees. They used to buy for 1 rupee, and it failed. And that I can tell you that was one of the biggest setback for China, because Indian traders bought the cheap cell. They have got to sell for 8 rupees also. But these guys bought a 1 rupee cell
one.
and sold it cheaper, which flunked. It never worked. So China is cheap for cheap goods, but when you want quality goods, they are not cheaper. So that's a myth.
Wow.
Because my containers go to China also. I might be a few of them who are exporting back to China.
Yes, absolutely. So, last podcast we had with Kirkar sir, and I guess Grindmaster and Savera, I mean, both are prime examples that they are exporting back to China.
He also had the same notion in mind. He also said the same thing, that China is cheap is a myth. Working with them gives you more insights, how you can work, how you can go ahead, how you can compete with them. So there is a big market, but we can definitely compete.
Yeah.
And the quality point you touched is absolutely right, sir. I mean, if higher quality is needed, then that is not cheaper.
Once I think Gadkari sir said की टोलचे पैसे द्या, टोलचे पैसे द्या. का मागताय म्हणलं तुम्ही टोलचे पैसे?
हा,
तेव्हा
yes.
तेच म्हणाले, तुम्हाला चांगल्या गोष्टी पाहिजे ना, मग पैसे द्या.
And actually, that's the secret of US. Why did it grow? Because
Yes.
40 years ago, they had the infra. Now, the road connectivity in US is fantastic.
Yes,
know.
yes.
And you don't, for miles together, there are no signals.
That is-
So that's what Gadkari is doing for India. And that's changing the scenario. I tell you, means everyone, wherever we are going for export, everyone says that guy sitting over there was a fantastic person, Narendra Modi ji.
Yes.
Your PM has turned the country. Well, yes, he's turned it.
That's true.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Sir, we would like to know your thoughts and would like to ask you, what is the X factor of Aurangabad, do you think?
It's a good question. I feel that's the best place to work with and to grow, because after doing my engineering, I could have gone anywhere else. But I said, no, I want to start here, do it here. When I was trying to get into export, everyone said, sitting in our how can you export? I said, why can't I? What's the ingredient for export? You need a port, should be near. So about it's 360 kilometers from here. And now with the Samruddhi going on, it's closer. Plus we had this Concord, this thing is also there.
Yes.
So this helped out. And of course, one thing is there that the CEO level guys, they don't want to come to Aurangabad because they say Aurangabad, there's no nightlife, there's no this thing, no that thing. But others, yes. So that's why we try to take more people from local people. So we try to grow them, because we have got many examples where a guy joined as, training engineer. Now they're heading departments. They are, so train the local guys. So that's the best recipe. Yes, but still people higher ups, when you talk of CEO, they are still not ready to come to Aurangabad. But you don't need them, You can grow with the local talent.
Definitely. I opt for that every time.
That's so true.
Sir, you have been in this business for 30 plus years now. You have worldwide recognitions and awards, many feathers in your cap. So how do you see the next generation taking the company forward?
Yeah, because that every company needs, and we are lucky enough in Aurangabad. That another point which you said, what is good about Aurangabad? You can see in Aurangabad, the second gen is coming into business. Most of the cities, second gen is not ready to come to business, but in Aurangabad, second gen, in name it, and every factory, kids they have done their higher studies, they have come back from US, anywhere, they have come back and taken the business side. Similarly, in my business also, I have got two daughters, Atul has got two sons. So Atul's elder son Ajinkya and my elder daughter Pritika, they finished the studies and joined about 8 years back.
Right.
Somewhere around 2014-15, both of them joined. And Atul's younger son Anurag, about 3 years back, he completed his studies in Boston and all, and came back, and he also joined. So now what I'm doing, I'm training them. From last 8 years, I have divided. Ajinkya takes care of operations and sustainability and highway and all those things. Pritika takes care of my export marketing, and we have a brand called Tidy Homes. So those two she takes care of, and Anurag takes care of quality and new development. So pretty well, and all the three guys are doing job quite good. So I am free to look for new business.
Wow! Now such a rock solid team already in place.
yeah, three of them. I was all alone earlier.
But you developed this empire with Atul uncle.
Yeah.
And when you both were there, you have one more in place now.
That's great. Sir, just a random thought. What is the recipe for success in your words?
Well, recipe for success is you have to be true to your whatever job you are doing. Do it wholeheartedly. Like for me, I was a practical person. I used to shop anything. I was on the shop floor. Hands-on experience you should have. You should not beat around the bush. Be on the job. You should know your job, what you are doing. Then people can't fool you. There were many examples, because if something goes wrong, I am on the shop floor. So they know अगर साहब अगर आ गए तो ये मशीन चलेगी, या इतना क्वांटिटी नहीं निकल रहा, साहब खड़े रहे तो उतनी निकलती है. And I make it a point. Even if I have to stand on 10 hours, 12 hours, I stand. Even at this age, I have.
Wow.
So now people are, they try all the things. Something, hardly they come to me now.
Okay.
But they do their job.
Culture is inculcated.
Yeah, culture is inculcated. So you have to be true to your job. You should know what you are doing. And you have to be honest, because without honesty, nothing is possible in this life. Ultimately, you can't cut corners, and it's not possible. You have to be true to your whatever you do it wholeheartedly. And of course, I am again a firm believer, 50% is luck, 50% आपकी मेहनत होती है, बिकॉज मेहनत तो रास्ते पे जो पत्थर फोड़ता है वो भी करता है, सो ऐसी मेहनत की बात नहीं है. सो आई एम फर्म बिलीवर, 50% God is there, He takes care of you, 50% you do it, and if your intentions are clear, definitely success is yours.
That's great.
Just to add to that, इसका ही extension fortune favors the brave, ये आपकी story से पता चलता.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow, wonderful. Auntie, uncle, we had so much great fun today, and there was a lots to learn. And yeah, perhaps we are taking more than what we had wanted through this podcast, even personally for us and for the viewers. Thank you so much for joining us and for giving us time.
Thanks a lot for having us. It was lovely speaking to you guys.
Yes.
Same.
I'm so nervous, but I'm happy now.
That's great. So everyone, today we are signing off with having such a great interaction with Mrs. Shri Chaterjee and Mr. Pritesh Chaterjee. We learnt a lot. अगर कुछ एक चीज मैं बोलना चाहूँ इससे, if I have one takeaway, that is मुसीबतें फंसाती नहीं है, बनाती है. And then many other things that we are taking out. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for the next podcast of this TEJAS series, an initiative by NSBT. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you.